When do you think that interest rates are going to go up then, Henrik? And which one? The deposit rate, refinancing rate? What are your expectations after last week?
No, look, I think the ECB signal was very clear. To say that the deposit rate would stay where it is through the summer 2019, that's a very clear anchoring. And that's still very far away. So this is 14, 15 months ahead of us. And it's very hard to make predictions now. So I think this is exactly what the ECB wants, that people do not focus on, the rates, the next moves. But now there's a steady expectation environment which will allow the recovery to gain steam. And then we can discuss when the next move is going to take place.
Some of the more hawkish in Berlin, Henrik, have been calling for rates to go up faster. Will they be satisfied with this?
Well, I think everyone recognizes that the ECB has done an excellent job. Announcing the end of QE and at the same time seeing the euro go down is a very, very good move, because it shows that there is a lot of trust in the ECB's anchoring of expectations right now. And now we will have to see how the recovery continues to unfold. Right now, as you know, and you've just covered it on the program, there's much more focus about the Franco-German discussions. There's more focus about the migration discussion in Germany. Deepening the euro is decisive. Let's not forget there is a Draghi succession coming up in 2019 before, in all likelihood, the next move by the ECB. So this is now shifting back to politics, and perhaps the ECB will not be in the same spotlight as it has been in the past years.
Yeah, talking about succession at the ECB then, Henrik, some people are joining these things together and talking about what we heard last week and saying this is part of Draghi preparing for that succession. How important is it to the government in Berlin that a strong German voice is heard on the ECB Governing Council, perhaps being led by a German?
I think there's a very strong German voice on the ECB Governing Council. Actually, there are two. Sabine Lautenschläger and Jens Weidmann do an excellent job in representing their own views. Look, the ECB Governing Council is not representing nations, but people are there ad personam, as the treaty states. So they're sitting there. They do an excellent job. When it comes to the ECB leadership, we know, I think we should not think about nations. We should think about the best person for the job, the best profile. This is one of the toughest jobs out there. It's also one of the most powerful jobs out there. And it's clear that all governments will try to find the right candidate. But from my perspective, I think nation should not be one of the first criteria to be looked at when you get the CVs on your desks.
OK, so nationality, we need to be nationality blind, perhaps, in that selection process. Henrik, what about, you mentioned the other challenges facing Europe. Angela Merkel, of course, clearly under pressure with regards to migration. Do you think she can try and find a European solution? Can she get to the same place as Hungary, as Austria, as Italy on the migration crisis?
Well, we've seen over the weekend that the small sister party of Merkel's CDU, the Bavarian CSU, is putting a lot of pressure on her, saying that there needs to be some kind of European solution so that refugees that are already registered in other European countries can be blocked at the border. Now, that's a real provocation, first for EU law and EU legislation and EU rules, but also for the way German borders are managed. If you've ever been to the German-Austrian border, it's really in a green land. There is no way you can control people there. So what Merkel needs right now is to react to that provocation. The CSU has put an ultimatum on the table saying within 2 weeks there needs to be a solution. Merkel will talk to Italy, to Austria, to Greece, and try to find a solution. I think there are bilateral ways to discuss with these partner countries about possibilities to say, if someone's already registered in a certain country, perhaps there's a way to check that at the border already, or very quickly when the person is in Germany, and then sending that person back as the EU rules require. So it's getting a bit technical, but I think the bigger battle is really a symbolical political battle in the background, that the Bavarian CSU is facing regional elections on 14th of October 2019, and they're very afraid of this far-right party in Germany, the AfD, rising, and so they simply want to mark the territory as a law and order party, and I think this is what they've done this weekend.